It's coming to your city. It's the thing that filmmakers fear most. It's paperwork! Getting permits and 20,000 release forms.
On the set of a film I wrote called What Would You Do to Deserve This Bench, which is a very silly story about two people in competition for one bench in New York City. I was required to get a permit from the city of New York City, but coincidentally at the park where I was shooting, it was a really hot set that day, and that's the sort of thing you say for that, because in the middle of my shoot, the TV show Damages came on and actually kicked me out of my set. They were filming at the exact same part for their television show, and they said that our permit outranked yours, and so I wasn't allowed to shoot there anymore. I tried to move across to the other side of the park, but what are the odds? One of the various Law and Orders were shooting over there too. It's ridiculous how popular New York City is to shoot, and how difficult it is to just shoot there in general. People are always on your case all the time. I mean, I tried to shoot one scene in a subway, and you can't actually turn on any camera in a subway. It's an issue of national security to turn on a camera in a subway, so you've got to get some really fancy permits. Yeah, you've got to get some really fancy permits to shoot down there.
Squeeze inside the door. There's no room for any more. On the subway. Subway!
Independent producers that want to film things here in the state usually go to the film board, and then they help to arrange getting permits, because there's usually a lot of extra equipment, and there's traffic issues.
What? It says here that I need $1 million of insurance to get a permit. Why is that?
Well, they could be sued for libel or for something else, and probably it would be to protect them.
Great. I know what permits are about, but what about these other legal forms, such as model release forms, location release forms, or music release forms? What's that all about?
When it comes to stuff like that, it's all about property. You know, I've shot with people that won't let me shoot because they said, oh, we don't know what you're going to do with our name and our logo, and you have to pay them to allow them to do that. So even in Minneapolis, it would be the same situation. In the mall, I got my camera turned off because I can't shoot people's logo. It's ridiculous. You can take pictures of anything, like a lot of this stuff you can photograph and keep for yourself, but if you were to post that on the internet or sell it for your own income, you're required to pay them a certain amount, and it's all about money.
Our teacher supplies us with the necessary legal forms, the model release forms, location release forms, the music release forms, all that stuff. And I mean, they're really straightforward. It's not like some convoluted legal document. It's just like you write down the title of the piece, your name, and then the person signs it, puts the date, and then someone else has to witness it.
I understand the law is that if you don't identify me, like if I'm part of a crowd shot, just in a public street or a public sidewalk, that you know, you don't necessarily need to get that release form from me. But
if you're going to identify them by a name, you have to get their permission. Or if you're going to interview them and somehow have identifying data about them.
You can use anyone's body, but it's their face.
now, I don't know if this is true or not from what I've read or heard. My understanding is that most filmmakers often try to get those releases from people anyway, just to cover themselves down the road.
Yeah, you should seek out permission to use those images if you're going to do it in a commercial venue or for commercial purposes.